two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Extraordinary People. I am Patricia. I'm going to introduce to you my guest today. I arrived to meet my guest knowing I'm going to meet an extraordinary person, yet I didn't realize the wealth of her character that truly makes her so extraordinary. There is so much more to her than baking cakes, that is just the cherry on top. Even baking has a true meaning for her. Getting to know this person, you are motivated to overcome any challenge that comes your way. She has lived through so much, good and bad. She has learned to approach any situation head on, no matter how difficult, with strength, reason, and a big heart. You cannot help but smile in her presence, and she is so generous with herself. She is generous to share, and she is generous with her delicious baked treats. Her mood is definitely contagious. Be ready to lift up your spirit with our talk today. Welcome my guest, Maman Chocolat.
Thank you, Patricia, for this beautiful, beautiful introduction. Really, it's so sweet of you.
But it's so true because really, when I came to meet you and we talked and we talked and we talked, and there's really so much more to you than just
Maman
the
Chocolat.
baking. Yeah, the Maman Chocolat. And it's just a pleasure to get to know you so much better. So, the first thing, so do I address you as Maman or Chocolat?
Chocolat. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want. I'll always answer. I'm used to reply to Chocolat now or to Maman.
Oh, everybody
And
calls you Maman Chocolat
yeah,
now?
yeah. So now I'm used to it. Like I'm walking in the street and someone calls me Maman Chocolat, I turn.
Oh, okay. Well, you feel good. It's a kind of like a goodness kind of name, so it makes you feel
Yeah.
comfortable in this
Plus,
name.
I know, imagine you're called something that you like too. So chocolate
Yeah.
is like a thing that I love. It's my passion. So calling me chocolate can only makes you happy.
It can't get any better than
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So, Maman. I feel a bit weird, but anyways, you're such a rich person.
Thank
Besides your baking, which is just delicious. I mean, I'm gonna try your recipes. I'm gonna do this and I'm
you.
gonna
And you're
film
gonna
it.
try my cakes too.
I'm gonna try your cakes. But you do it with such, I don't know, it's not just appetite, it's with heart and with goodness and with ease. You make it look so easy.
Yeah, you know why? Because actually, when I started baking, I thought it was so hard. So the first time I did a cake, it was like the stress level was like 1,000. And I
Okay.
read so many recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
And when the cake came out of the oven, I looked and I was like, that's so easy actually.
Yeah.
It's just the way people put it together is hard.
Okay.
So I tried so many recipes and stuff, and I learned that there are easier way to put them, to show them, and to
Oh.
do it the cake.
So it's really your style when you put the recipes.
Exactly, and the
Oh,
recipes are
okay.
mine. So I
Okay.
actually picked some recipes. I modified them the way I like them because, I try to revive the teta's recipe, if you want.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
try
you're
to
gonna
revise
tell
this.
me about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I personalize the recipes and I share them, and I want them to be simple, and I want baking to be accessible because this is what it is all about. Baking is so simple, but it's just we look actually at the recipes of big chef, but the home bakers, teta, your mom, they used to bake easily. So
Right.
why was it easy for them and it's not easy for us? So this is what I'm trying like to share. And for the joyful part, baking, and the thing that I love actually about baking is that you
Okay.
always have the cake at the end, and this is what you keep in your memory. In your
Yeah.
birthday you cut the cake, in your engagement you cut a cake, and a wedding
That's
you
true.
so
Every special occasion.
exactly. So it's
Yeah.
a happy moment. So the cake
Sure.
has to be happy like the moment. So for me, this is what I like. I love sharing, and I love those gathering, being family or friends. So this is why I say that a cake should be baked with love.
And you even show the cakes that don't work out. Like, I mean, they don't
Yeah.
rise right or anything like this. So you show the human part also. It's not everything is
True.
perfection.
I got so many DMs of people telling me that, oh, I failed the cake, I'm not a baker. I tell them how many times you tried, and they're like,
Yeah.
once. Once? Like,
Yeah.
how many times? I still fail. I've
Yeah.
been baking for like 10 years. I still fail so many
Oh, you
times.
just for 10 years?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
started
okay.
actually even cooking when I got married. Before that, I didn't even know how to boil an egg. Can you imagine?
Okay. Yeah, same.
So yeah, so I was
Yeah.
scared to starve. So I
Right.
started cooking, and I found it fun. And like 6 months later, I tried the cake, but like, I
Okay.
know, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. It's never gonna work, and this is how it went. You try a thing and another. So So I was telling you for the fail part, everyone fails, and this is something that people need to understand. Whatever you do in life, when you start walking, you fall like 1,000 times before
Right.
you walk right.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
When you start a job, when you
Yeah.
start an activity, whatever. So the thing that you try once you fail, you stop. I hate that.
Yeah.
So this is why I always show, and I fail a lot, you know. So
Okay.
I
You
don't
learn
mind.
from
I
it.
learn from them, and I
Yeah.
change it. Okay, I failed this cake. I'm gonna do cake pops with it. So
Okay.
it's just, you know, and it people realize that, and they write to me, ah, wow, you still fail, and you're a baker, and
I
so
think that's very noble of you to show it.
yes,
Because
ma'am.
it makes you more approachable to everybody.
Yeah, I don't. It's not a question of wanting people to be more approachable. I
No,
just
but
want,
we just feel it
yeah,
automatically.
and I
That's what
want
mean.
people to
Yeah.
feel good with their failure because
Yeah.
everyone fails. It's social media show you that super nice image of people, the beautiful people. No, no
It's
one
not
wakes
like
up
that.
full of makeup, like in a bed,
No.
like smiling. No,
No.
we all wake up tired. We all fail stuff.
True.
You see, so I want them to see the good and the bad. Now it's nice to do a nice caramel on profiterole, but I failed profiterole so many times before reaching it. So you have to see both. You have to see reality, you know.
Reality.
Yeah, reality.
You went through many realistic moments.
Yeah, I've been through a lot, but this is what makes me who I am today, right?
Yeah, it does. And the thing is I'd like to share a little bit, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
of course, no.
Because you overcame these moments with grace. I don't know how else. Grace
I
and
try to.
strength. Yeah, and a
A lot.
smile. So maybe we can start with the August 4th explosion when your sister was hurt really bad.
My
Really
sister
bad.
was super injured, and
Yeah.
she lost her memory for a while, and until now she's struggling.
Yeah.
She lost her cheek.
So it's been
part
3
of her.
years already.
It's yeah,
even,
and
yeah.
it's still she's still recovering, you know.
Yeah.
So the August 4th in itself was a very harsh moment. It's a very
traumatic.
when I think about it, because I went down to pick her up, so I had to go through all the, you know, running and not knowing where she is for hours, and you know we didn't have phones on that day because there was no network.
There's no connection.
So losing her, going to her home, not finding her, seeing blood everywhere, but not knowing where she is.
She?
But just she lives just next to EDL. So
Yeah, but you said she wasn't home.
she was at home.
Oh, she was at home.
She lives next to Électricité du Liban.
Yeah.
So she was just home, having dinner with her kids, and just her kids ran inside to hide. They were very small. They were, I think, 3 and 1 or 4 and 1. Yeah, she took, and the blast took her. So she was like a second late.
Oh, 1 second late.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, but luckily she's still here. So
Yeah.
we went through a lot with her, you know, but it was very hard for her and for us because she had a kind of Alzheimer, you know, so we had to repeat to her the same stories over and over and over again.
It's
And
not
we-
just that, it's the physical part.
The physical part was hard. Now, thanks God, she's very much like me on that. She was very cool about the scars. And she's a fighter, so which helped a lot. And she has a very good moral.
Morale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it helped us a lot. Now, it was very hard, and to tell you the truth, it didn't take few months to recover. It took us, at least I say, like almost 2 years to feel a bit better and to just not digest, because you never digest stuff like this, but to accept that she lost so much. You know, it's very hard to see someone you love suffer and you can't do a thing about it. You know, that's the hardest part about it, and she struggled for a very long time.
Yeah.
But we tried through all that to stay positive, you know, even though it was very hard.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how'd you get the strength when you see somebody that's suffering so much? How do you get the strength?
Actually, you don't have the choice, you know. When I saw her, when I found her in the ER, I almost fainted when I saw her.
Oh, you didn't see her at home?
No, I didn't find her. I looked for like an hour before I reached the ER. Then I saw my other sister running. Anyways, she told me she's in the Hotel Dieu. I found someone on a bike. Sorry. I told him, where are you going? It happened that he was going to the same place. So
you grabbed onto the bike.
So yeah, exactly. So I reached the ER, and when I saw her, because I didn't know how she was, I almost fainted because it was such a horrible view. I can't tell you. And that moment, my brother-in-law came and he told me, he literally shouted at me, and he came and he told me, you did not come here to cry, you came here to help her. So at that moment, you know, you wake up and you know, you have no choice.
Yeah.
I can just sit down on the floor and cry, do nothing, or I can just stand. And I cleaned her up. I removed the glasses. I
Wow.
cut her clothes. I wrapped her in plastic because there was
Because
no
everybody
ropes.
was busy.
Yeah, we even helped other people we didn't know, you know.
Wow.
And through that whole time, you don't have the choice. You have to be strong. And even a doctor said in front of me that she's not gonna make it, you know. And still, I
She
was
made
like,
it.
no, it's
Yeah.
not possible. She's gonna make it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take her. I'm gonna take her down. I'm gonna help her. So we stayed the whole time. You don't think about yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You think about her well-being.
Right.
So that was my focus all the time. Now I did have some moment like
Yeah.
a year later. It took me a year actually to process the thing. I went through like a week which was very harsh for me, but I kind of woke up after that and I was like, okay, خلاص. No, I had my week. I was very sad in it. I cried all the
Right.
time. It was very hard.
Yeah.
Now it's time
normal.
to
Yeah.
continue and to fight because we're
Right.
fighting to get justice at the end of the day. So this is like what is keeping us.
I think it's kind of, I don't want to say re-energized, but you have to let it all out to
Yeah.
be able to regain
Yeah.
your strength.
I'm very tough on myself, so usually I'm very hard to cry and stuff like this. So like for a year, I was a block, a rock.
You didn't have time.
No, exactly.
You
I
didn't
was
have
too busy
time.
with my sister and with all this
Right.
thing, and we lost a lot of people close to us too. You know, so we lost people in our family, we lost friends, we lost
Yeah.
so many people you can't imagine, and people were very hurt around us because we know a lot of people there. So it's a bit our region, so we know
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy to process. But once you decide, you know, we all have downs in our life. So I went through that for like a week. It was hell, and then I just looked and I was like, okay, life goes on.
Yeah.
I can't cry all my life. What is it gonna bring me? Or I
Yeah.
can just stand and fight for whatever I want to. That's it, you know. Not turn the page, but accept it and try to get what I want.
Yeah. Thank God she's relatively okay now.
Yeah, no, she's much better. She's
Especially
not
with
here
your
anymore.
help.
She's in London.
Oh, she's in London
Yeah,
now.
she left, and she's
Okay.
happy there, and her kids are better. And you know, there was the trauma after for the kids also, and
Yeah, I can imagine.
so yeah, because they saw her.
Yeah.
So
It's a good thing they were very young. They can have a chance to forget, maybe.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know how the brain goes, but I really, really hope that they will forget what they saw because it
Yeah.
wasn't really nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
the whole day.
you stayed strong throughout this.
Yeah.
And then you had another event for yourself.
Yeah,
Just recently.
just a year later.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So
Because
yeah.
you're such an energetic person. You don't stop moving and everything, and you just like a dynamite all day. And then
Yeah.
you had a motorcycle accident.
Exactly. Just can you imagine? Like I passed this, and I was like, okay, khalas, I'm not gonna be depressed. I'm gonna move on and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 3 days later, I just had the worst accident I ever had in my life, and I almost lost my life while I was crashing. My only thoughts were, and oh God, what did I do to my kids? To leave my kid, and oh, I don't want to leave my kids
'Cause they're
alone.
still
You know,
young.
they're very young. They were
Yeah.
at that time 10, 8, and 6.
Yeah.
So you know, I felt bad, and just when I hit the floor, I was awake the whole time, and I was
That's
like,
incredible.
thanks God. Yeah, I did not lose conscious.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I was awake. I remember everything.
Did you feel pain?
Oh,
Oh, you were awake and you felt pain at
I
the
did.
same time.
I did. So when I fell with the pain and everything, the only thing I was thinking was like, thanks God, I'm alive for my kids.
Yeah.
That's it. So I turned on my back. I couldn't breathe anymore and stuff. I started moving my hands and thinking, okay, I can still move my fingers, which means I can do a sandwich for my kid. You know, can you imagine?
Oh my God, this
Yeah.
is what you thought?
And then I couldn't move my legs.
You
so
didn't think about baking a cake, you thought about
no,
making
I
the
want
sandwich.
you know, I wanted to see, and I even thought at a certain point I was in so much pain I couldn't move my legs. I was like, it's okay, even if I'm handicapped, I can still hug my kids, take care of them. I will find a way. So I was trying to be positive with myself, and all that time I was super calm. I did not
Yeah,
cry.
I was just gonna say you didn't panic or anything.
People around me panicked, and I was like,
Yeah.
just call an ambulance. Don't touch me. I know
Yeah.
I broke many stuff because I heard them cracking.
Oh, you heard them
Oh,
cracking?
yeah.
Oh.
And I felt the pain. But I just tell them, call an ambulance. And I stayed. I was in so much pain, but I stayed calm the whole thing. I reached the ER. The doctor was talking to me. I was awake. I told him, I know I broke something in my back. I heard it. and I was awake the whole time. I
Right.
never like cracked or cried or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thankful to be alive. That
Yeah.
was my only thing. I'm
That's
gonna
a
be
very
here for my
traumatic.
family,
Right.
because also you also think about your parents, and why would you put your parents through that, you
Yeah.
know?
A
And
second time.
exactly,
Yeah.
because just a year ago they had the shock of my sister, and
Yeah.
now again for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not call them for sure until
Yeah.
like late at night, because
Yeah.
that was at 9 in the morning. Until I
Oh,
knew what
sorry.
I had,
Okay.
then I called them to tell them I'm fine. I had an accident. Please don't
But I'll
panic.
be okay.
Yeah. So I just called my husband and my sister actually,
Yeah.
who picked me up on August 4th. So she came to
Oh,
help me. So we
okay.
exchanged roles.
Okay, exchange roles.
So yeah, it's whatever happens in your life. It was tough because I
Yeah.
had to stay like 8 to 10 weeks in bed for someone like
Static.
me.
Yeah, for somebody like you.
Yeah, you know how active I
I
am and stuff.
know.
It
I
was
know.
hard, but those 8 weeks, I
In the hospital?
no, thanks God. No, I
Okay.
stayed like 5 days, I think, in the
Okay.
hospital, and my mother-in-law died the next day, by the way.
Oh, from what?
So I had,
Oh.
she was old. I had my
Oh.
accident on the 17th. On the 18th, my husband left the hospital in the morning,
Jeez.
and I got a call like half an hour later, and he told me that his mom passed. So can you
Oh.
imagine the shock? And I couldn't
Yeah.
even go to the funeral because I was in
Right.
bed. So
Did she
anyways,
learn about your accident?
no, thanks God.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks God. At least she didn't see that.
Yeah,
Those 8 weeks, I was in my bed all the time, and I had a lot of time to rethink about everything. And they were tough. I'm not going to tell you it was easy,
It's
because
not,
long
yeah.
days thinking, and you
Yeah.
think we all have a tendency to go to the dark side of life, thinking of, oh, what
You
did
couldn't
I
even
do?
go to the bathroom.
No, I could.
Oh,
Thanks
you
God.
could go
It
to
was
the
my
bathroom.
only allowed thing,
Oh,
because
that's a
otherwise I would have died.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Can you imagine someone
Yeah.
carrying you all the time?
Yeah.
So in the morning before leaving, they had to open the bottles of water for me and give me my book. I couldn't even read, so I'll go just with a
Oh,
finger.
no kidding.
And so
It
I
was
was
that
watching movies all day and just not doing a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very easy. And slowly I started taking.
Gaining strength.
Yeah, but I rethought about all my life during those 8 weeks, and I realized how easy it is to lose it.
Yeah.
That moment when you crash,
Yeah.
and you tell, oh God, no, that's my moment. You think, this can happen to anyone, anytime. You always think
So,
it's,
and your accident, you felt like that more than what your sister went through.
yeah.
Because you
Weirdly,
felt it.
because I lived it.
Yeah, yeah.
I lived it, and I was like, okay, all the time it happens to the other. It happened to me. I
Yeah.
almost died. I saw it. I saw it
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
So this moment makes you realize how fragile life is.
Yeah.
And at this point, you have a choice: or you get depressed and you cry all your life because you broke 7 cervicals and 2 ribs and whatever, or you just say, I was giving another chance to live.
Yeah.
So I took this side of life, and I thought that from now on, even if life is hard, I'm not going to tell you my days are bright and stuff. I want to be happy, and happiness is something that you choose. As hard as your life is, and I
Yeah.
have days I say, how can I be happy? But
Yeah.
I just, خلاص, it's a thing between you and yourself. You decide to be happy.
Yeah.
So, even if you had trouble at work, you go back home, you leave them at work, the troubles.
Right.
Home is home,
Right.
Even if I have trouble with my kids, I try to take the positive side of it.
Yeah. And it's trying sometimes having 3 small kids at home.
Yeah,
I mean, they're.
yeah. It's you have kids,
Yeah, mine are older now, so it's
but
a
you've
different
been
kind
through
of
all
trying.
that, and you
Yeah.
always have stress. Actually,
Yeah.
stress never stops.
No,
Problems
it
never,
doesn't.
they never
It's
stop.
different now.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
it's
just,
different.
you just have to choose how you want to live.
Yeah.
You have thousands of problems. You have thousands of reasons to be happy, and one reason to be unhappy. You pick the unhappy, or you pick the happy. You see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So I try my best to stay positive and to spread this positivity, because we live in a very hard country that gets us like sad every day. Every day we have a bad news. You know that.
Yeah.
So I don't even need to tell you that.
Yeah.
So you choose, or you see the dark side, or you see the bright side. And through my page, I'm trying to pass that.
You are, because your smile is really contagious. It's
Thank-
not fake or anything like this. It's not that toxic positivity. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's just there to make us feel good.
It's a part of me, so I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it
share it
is.
as much. I think it's kind of a blessing to be positive and to have a smiley
It's
face
not
and stuff.
easy.
So
It's not
it's
easy.
not easy every
It's
day.
not
No,
easy.
no.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot, but I think that a lot part taught me to enjoy. You know, I lost many people in my life that meant the word to me and stuff. And those people told me that actually that you know, you can lose everything anytime.
Yeah.
There is nothing. You don't know tomorrow where you're gonna be. So خلاص, live in the day,
Live the
live in the moment, and
yeah.
just try to all the small stuff that we have every day. They're nothing.
Yeah, it's better to relativize things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the trouble that you have, you had a small car accident, you had, I don't know, something in your house stopped working or stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you sad, but at the end of the day, okay, well,
what's really important in life?
exactly.
Yeah. So what makes you happy? What gives you happiness? You give us happiness, and you give your followers happiness. But what makes you happy besides making us happy?
Well,
I know you're
to
gonna
start,
say that.
my followers make me happy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's a very important part of my life now, to get this positivity from the people who follow me. So when I get very nice comments and stuff, tell me, yeah, thank you, you made my day and stuff, or I tried your recipe, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Actually, I'm happy with the little stuff. You know, I'm the kind of people who get. Who's happy of nothing. Like you get me like, I don't know, a cup of tea, I'll be, oh wow, you know, I'll enjoy it so much. It's ridiculous.
You post that. Oh, I got these little chocolates.
Yeah, but it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with the little things. Actually, I don't need a lot to be happy. That's, I think, the good,
That's a
the best part.
blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
And
gratitude.
And you know, I have stuff like a simple sunset, a sunrise, wind. You know, sitting by the sea. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like stuff like this, you don't eating cotton candy, for example. It makes me happy, you know.
That suits you so well. The color of cotton candy, that suits your personality so well.
It makes me happy.
You're even excited for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh God.
I couldn't believe it when you started posting that. Christmas is almost here.
I'm a baby. I'm like a baby. So now I'm starting to negotiate with my husband to put the tree super early, you know.
Really?
And I get my kids into those stuff. So I'm like, yeah, please.
I'm sure the kids get excited about that.
Yeah. So I want my kids to be like me. You know, I want them to be happy kids. I do my best for them to be happy. It's hard in this country to have kids that are happy.
Yeah.
But I want them to be happy, and I always tell them, it's being sad is like you're ruining your own feelings and stuff. And my kids they have been through a lot already, so I want them to always stay positive. So those, little things like Easter, their birthday, oh God, I stay 1 week cutting cakes and small cakes, like even if it's a muffin, every time we go somewhere, let's cut a cake. I just want them to be happy,
Well, it's love, affection. This gives a lot to a person. It's nourishment for the soul. Yeah.
And this is one of the things that makes me happy, is that I always wanted to be a mom. So having like 3 boys today is like the thing that makes me happier than, and being here for them. And I hope I will be here for them for a long time.
Hugging them.
That's it,
Even me when they're older now, and I don't get a chance to hug them. But when I do, it's just special for me.
Exactly, it's a blessing. This is something I wanted. Well, I'm very happy because we're very close, and they're still young. We'll see later on, but I hope it's stay
I'm sure they'll be close.
the same. And I want them to enjoy life.
Yeah.
I try my best.
Yeah, no, you're doing wonderfully. But you said, when I'm asking you what makes you happy, you didn't say baking makes me happy.
Of course, baking, everything makes me happy. It can be something like having a cup of tea with you can make me happy, you see. So baking is my passion.
Yeah.
So
you were inspired.
Yeah, I am inspired by my grandmother.
Yeah.
So this happiness that I have, I took it from her. To start there.
Okay.
My grandmother, I need to talk about her because she's someone very special. Her name was Warde, and she was
which translates into
rose.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about her is she was a person full of life. She was a happy person, super generous, a beautiful person inside out. Wherever she used to go, everyone used to tell her, you radiate happiness, because she was such a...
from her.
Yeah, she's kind of my icon in life. Everyone has someone they look up to. Yeah. And she had so many health issues, and she just didn't care.
Did. Okay.
She had like 7 cardiac arrests, and she didn't care.
Oh, right. You told me once there's a little story that she didn't want to stay in the hospital or something like that.
She never liked to stay in hospital, and she was like, I want to die in a plane. I don't care. I want to eat whatever I want, but I want to enjoy my life fully. I want to die happy. effectively. She died happy. She's the happiest person I ever met in my life.
Wow.
And baking, actually, she never had a recipe book, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So when she died, I wanted like kind of bring her back to me because I was very, very close to her and I
Right.
loved her very much. I still do, very much. So I started recreating her recipes at home. So
But how did you do it without any recipes?
you know, you taste like, for example, the Swiss roll.
Yeah.
I tasted it, I ate it all my life. So I
Yeah.
tried the recipe. It wasn't close to her, so I tried another. And then you just.
remember the taste so well?
I try to get the
Wow.
closest to it. You know, you
Okay.
never get 100% because I
Yeah.
don't know which ingredients she used, and I don't have
Yeah.
her oven, I don't have her hands. This
Yeah.
affects a lot the
Yeah,
taste.
the ingredients change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tried my best, you know, and this is what I actually pass through Maman Chocolat is I'm using those easy recipes and the real recipes. No, it's not those cakes that you eat like in restaurants, you know, the entremet with 100
They're
layers.
super easy.
So-
Each time you post one, I'm like, oh, I have to try this. I have to try this. I have to try this.
You see, so there,
Yeah.
this is what I want. I want it
Yeah.
to be accessible, and I want the grandma recipes. I don't want the entremet stuff because
Yeah.
you're not gonna spend 3 hours doing a small entremet and
Yeah,
enjoying it
yeah.
at home.
We don't have time anymore to do
Yeah,
that.
you just go to a nice restaurant to eat that, but it's not the cake that you want to have with your coffee in the morning, you
Right,
know?
right,
But
right.
a nice orange cake, like your grandma used to do, you'll have that with a
Yeah.
cup of tea or coffee, or just a Swiss roll, or
Yeah.
you do your own bûche de Noël. It's so easy to do, but you
Yeah.
just need someone to show you how to do it easily.
Yeah, somebody to guide you through it, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
And my grandma was usually used to do everything that is baking, cooking. She was amazing, but her baking was like out of this world, and it was all super simple stuff and real flavors.
Okay.
And this is what I wanted to bring back, the real flavors of home, you know?
Yeah.
The,
yeah.
the real flavor of the orange, the lemon, the vanilla, the simple stuff. So
You even do the dishes.
yeah. This is the worst part. Don't talk about that. I hate that. This is what brings me negativity in my life.
But do you bake a cake every day? Because it seems like it, but I don't.
I bake a lot. Maybe not every day, but
And
like
who
a
eats all
lot.
of that?
Like today, I was supposed to bring you a cake. You know,
You
that
know,
this
I
is
wanted
a,
to do the same thing. I
I-
was gonna surprise you.
really.
Yeah, I did one. Then I was like, well, maybe it's not a good one. I'm not gonna bring it with me.
No,
I swear.
no. You know that I actually love when people bake for me, and people
I
don't
will do it
understand that.
next time.
I swear,
I
I
was
love when people
afraid, yeah.
cook or bake for me, and people are like, "No, we're never gonna do that." No,
Yeah.
on the contrary, do it.
Okay,
I
next
love
time.
to eat
We'll have to
homemade
do
cake.
another podcast with
Yeah,
cakes.
yeah. I owe you a cake. I promised you like last time I
Okay,
was gonna
deal.
make
I'm
you a
not
cake.
gonna say no. Okay.
Yeah.
You will
So
bake
we'll
both
taste
of
each
it.
other cake and we'll
Deal.
see.
Deal.
Deal. That's
Yeah,
a deal.
okay.
So you see, so I don't bake every day, but I do bake a lot. So every time I go see a friend, I bring a cake. You know, every
Okay.
time. Sometimes I just make a cake for my colleagues.
No, because I wonder, because you bake every day. I wonder who eats all of these.
Don't worry,
These
everyone
cakes.
waits for me. Like
Oh,
even
okay.
even
It's
if
not
I
just
say
at
like
home.
I made a cake, I don't know for I don't finish my sentence. I have someone at home to pick it up. You know.
Okay. You're taking your talent a little bit further by helping.
Yes.
I think this is a wonderful initiative that you're doing. It's called Love in the Kitchen.
Yes, so
So
Love
if
in the Kitchen
yeah.
came out like 5 years ago. I was having lunch with a friend of mine who's a blogger too, and I was telling him we get so many gifts, and now after the Saura it's different, but before
Yeah.
we used to get literally every day everything
Wow.
for free. We used to go to the restaurant. We never used to pay a bill. You know,
Would you be invited, or just when they see you?
even if they
invite?
see us or we used to
Okay.
get invites every day. It was a bit
Wow.
too much.
Okay.
And I was telling him all this food, like, you know, they put everything on the table. It goes to waste.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't
Yeah,
like to waste
especially
food.
now.
Yeah. And we were sitting and we were like, you know, it would be good to give back to the community. We all have sponsors. We can call them like, send us pasta, send us tomato sauce, and we'll cook for people in need and just send them. And this is how it started.
Yeah.
The first time we cooked like 200 plates. Last
It were
Christmas.
meals?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
And last Christmas we reached to 4,000 or 5,000. I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How
this
much cooking did it take to prepare 4,000 meals?
it took a lot.
Oh, okay.
It took a lot,
lot
and I
of
can tell you it was
volunteers.
very hard,
Yeah.
but we
You
made
didn't
it.
do the dishes there.
No, thanks God. I don't want this part.
Okay.
You know, I cook, I help and
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't mind. If I have the gloves, I'll do anything. But as long as I
Yeah,
have
but you
gloves.
would love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice because they're all chef and bloggers and stuff who usually have everything easily.
Yeah.
So it's nice from time to time to give back the community. We have
Yeah.
before we used to have only like 200 families and like people, oh, it's enough, we don't need plates. And now we have a very high demand.
Wow.
Every time I say I'm gonna do a love in the kitchen, just on my personal page, I get so many DMs. Can I just pass by to take a plate or two?
No kidding.
You know, yeah. So people wait for that, just to have a hot meal. And now there is also something that you.
So sorry, people are reaching out to you for those
Yeah, I get a lot of
donations.
that.
Oh,
I get
okay.
so much that. And you know, the problem is that people don't have fridges anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have gas. They
Right.
don't cook anymore at home. So they need already done meals. Before we used to send sometimes, you know, a hot meal and a box with like pasta and rice and oil. And they tell us we don't want those. We cannot cook, you know. So now the
I
poverty.
didn't know that they
yeah,
arrived at this point.
This is very, very hard. And I'm going to announce that on my page next week. I'm starting with Barad El Hay. I'm being the ambassador of a campaign for the children now. Children go to school and they don't even have bread to eat. Can you imagine? They go with empty lunchbox or just bread. So we're starting this campaign to collect funds to send them sandwiches at least once or twice per week, so that they have something to eat at lunch, not at lunchtime, at you know, the break time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's heartbreaking to have a kid that has nothing to
Yeah,
eat.
they're watching other kids eating. Yeah.
So last Love in the Kitchen, there were only children cooking for children.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I got a group of girls between and boys between 7 and I think I had until 14, and we did small za'atar, small pizza, you know, small muffins,
Yeah.
cupcakes, biscuits, stuff like this, and they were distributed in schools.
Did they distribute it themselves?
Not the kids, no, because they started old school. You know, we did it a
Right,
week
right.
before the school
Right.
starts, and it was really amazing because they felt they understood that, you know,
Exactly. It shows them compassion.
and it gives them
involvement.
value.
It gives them value.
They value the food they eat,
Oh,
which is
true.
something that we lose sometime.
It's true, we do. During these past events, like what we went through the past few years, sometimes we would throw leftovers. or stuff.
Yeah,
I
no, we
don't
don't
throw
anymore.
anything anymore. Even like, well, not rotten fruit, but almost fruit that's no good.
You try to use it in a way.
yeah, in a cake or
another.
something.
But you see, this is very
Yeah,
important because we were a bit like how spoiled. We were very spoiled
Yeah,
actually. So I remember I used to go every Sunday, bring veggies as if we're gonna have like 50 people over, and then I didn't care whether I'd throw them or not. Now, no, I just put in my head this week I'm gonna do this salad, this ما بعرف شو, and I try as much as possible not to throw
Be
anything.
reasonable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Instead
we
of buying
overdo it
like
here.
5 cheese, I just buy the one that we're gonna eat, and that's
exactly.
it. It's very important, and it's important to give those values to the kids.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted kids to cook for the kids.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Because kids lose this value, you know, when you have everything at home. My kids, they open like the drawer, they have 50 chocolates and they have open cakes.
Yeah.
They don't know this, they don't have this value. So this
Yeah.
is why a long time ago I started that. I started that for them, thinking that I want them to know that they're the lucky ones, but some people don't have this luck, you know. I work, I don't have a problem, my husband works, but a lot of people lost their job during this crisis. A lot of people went through a lot, and this is the moment where we have to help.
Yeah.
You know, you never know, the wheel can turn, and
Yeah.
it can be our
You
turn
went
one
through
day.
it
So yeah,
a
you
couple
never.
times, yeah.
So-
not in that sense, but in a different
Yeah,
sense.
of course. So they need to learn the values, and they need to learn to be generous, to donate, and at the end of the day, what are you taking to your grave with you?
Yeah, exactly.
All this money, no, just help the people with it. You know what
yeah,
I want?
they'll remember it forever.
Well, I just, it makes me happy to know that someone just, you know, had a lunch.
Yeah.
It's enough for me. I don't need more. You were asking me what makes me happy.
Yeah.
So doing the love in the kitchen, it drains me to organize that. But I'm happy at the end of the day that 1,000 people today will eat a hot meal. So this, khalas, it made my day. I'm happy for a month because I know that I helped in a way.
Yeah. So your next initiative is going to be also for school lunches, or it's going to be for
The
something?
next one, no, it's a hot meal one. And
Okay.
just after it, I'm starting a campaign for like a month to collect funds to do that.
Oh,
There's
okay.
so many schools that are asking for it.
So if anybody wants to reach out or help
They
or anything,
can- They can call me directly or call Barad El Hay. Or
Barad
DM
El-
me, send me a DM on Instagram.
Okay. We'll put it on the account
Exactly.
now.
So just like I always say, like you do a sandwich for your kid every day.
Yeah.
You can just give an extra one to someone, not every day,
Yeah.
once a week, just once a week. So it's a tiny donation. It's nothing. We put super
It's
small
just
amount,
a gesture,
just
right?
to be sure that they have this piece of bread, you know, with cheese in it. For them, it means the word because it's something that
Yeah.
they don't even taste
But
anymore.
how would you choose the other child you want to give to, for example?
We actually chose the schools, not the child. So
Okay.
we went through to schools that are or free schools
Mm-hmm.
or schools that actually kill on the, you know,
Public schools?
not public schools, the schools where they help,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
They teach the kids for free in them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not public school.
Okay.
They're, how do you call them?
I don't know.
Like NGOs, you know,
Okay.
but they're schools.
Okay.
So we went to them and they told us that they noticed that most of the kids don't eat during the day
Mm-hmm.
and most of them come with just plain bread. So this is heartbreaking for a mom,
It
you
is,
know, to
yeah.
hear that. You're like, okay, Anna, my son goes with like 2 sandwiches and a chocolate and a
And
fruit.
he might not eat it all, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So you know, you're like, okay, that no, I can do an extra sandwich every day, right?
Yeah, of
But you're not
course.
gonna do an extra sandwich every day and send it.
No.
So you just send this amount of money to this to Birad Al Hay, and they will just do this extra sandwich for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an amount that is ridiculous. So when you
It
think
is.
about it, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna sponsor for a year. It's nothing. It's
Like
not
a small gesture goes a long way.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you sponsor one kid, I sponsor one. Someone
Yeah.
takes 2, 3, or someone just at least half of the time. For example, someone just wants to send juice for a week.
Yeah.
Okay, you made someone happy.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
you helped someone. Someone
Yeah.
just did not go to class hungry.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't even have breakfast. So
We're here for each other.
exactly.
If it isn't us, who is it gonna be?
If we're not gonna stand up for each other, no one will.
Yeah, exactly.
And here in Leb, you know, it's very
Yeah,
important.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have $2 million questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, shoot.
The first one is like, I'm just like wondering because you do so much in one day. It's just incredible because you also work, you have your own marketing company, is
Yeah,
that it?
yeah.
And everything. And I'm just wondering, do you have like, are you in like a parallel universe with 30 hours in a day or something? Because I don't understand how you're able to do everything and you do the dishes.
Yeah, I do the dishes. This is the worst part.
So I don't understand how you
No.
manage your time.
Yeah, actually, I'm very organized in my time, you know.
Okay.
That's the good thing is that in my head, I'm not an organized person at all, but in my head, my time is like by the minute.
Yeah,
I'm
it
super
is.
punctual, you know.
Yeah.
So I know this is my time to work, this is my time to bake, this is my time to take care of the kids, and I try to
Okay.
make the most out of a day.
Because
I-
even the social media account, that takes a lot of time
Yeah.
to do.
It takes more time, you know,
Yeah,
than
it does.
taking care of the kids. Actually,
Yeah,
it takes
does.
so much
Yeah,
time.
I'm learning this right now.
And you know, you need also to always be creative, to always change. Or it's very draining.
Yeah.
Social medias are very very draining. It's
Yeah.
very competitive. Thanks God, I'm
Yeah.
not competitive, so
Yeah.
this is the part that helps. But I try. I don't rest during the day.
You're
by the way,
sincere.
yeah. And I try to just put everything, you know, finish everything that I can, and to manage my time. It's not always easy. And usually when I reach bed by 11, I'm like drained,
Exhausted. Yeah.
exhausted. Yeah, I
So
cannot.
you sleep well.
And not all the time, but
Ah.
I wake up early. But I do everything that I do. I love it.
Yeah.
So you know, when you love something, you don't think
True.
about the time
You have
anymore.
the drive and the motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not the kind of person who does something when I don't like it. I just don't do it. You know, that's
Yeah.
my
Your
side.
motto.
Yeah, so it's not always good because sometimes you have to make efforts and stuff. But you know, I don't want to go to this place. I won't go. You know, I won't make the effort too because I'm tired already.
Sometimes we reach a certain age where it's like,
Exactly. So I know
We
where
don't
to
care.
make efforts and when not to anymore.
yeah, exactly.
That's-
$2 million
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
How do you stay so thin?
I run all day.
Yeah, that must be it.
God, I eat so much cake. I wonder the same.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no secret to this or anything like this.
No, maybe you know because I don't have dinner. I don't like to have dinner.
Oh, you don't eat dinner?
No, I have like a huge breakfast, a very
Okay.
good lunch. At 4, I have my chocolate that I never skip, and then
Ah.
I just
So that's your secret,
rarely I eat at night.
which isn't a secret anymore. But
No, it's not, and I say it. Plus, I run a lot. You know, I work a lot. I have
Yeah.
3 boys. You know what?
you're
is-
active.
I never sit. I never.
Yeah.
I don't have this afternoon movie or movie night and stuff. I don't do that stuff. So you know, I usually am busy cleaning or fixing stuff. Or
Yeah.
so I think this helps a lot.
Yeah, it does, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, being active all the time and everything. Well, Jihan, I just want to say thank you so much. I mean, you've brightened the studio for me today. You're brightening people's lives all the time. I really appreciate it, and it's so much fun to watch what you do every day.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.